Right now at 4:30, the future of a drug that's been used for the better part of the last 2 decades to assist in abortions is in limbo. A federal judge in Texas blocked the use of mifepristone, but after a dueling ruling in another state and an appeal by the Justice Department, the Supreme Court may now be forced to step in. And now a handful of states led by Democratic governors are stockpiling doses of the drugs amidst fears the high court could ban the drug as they wait to hear the case.
Queen City News anchor Morgan Francis joins us now with what that means for abortion rights across the country and what doctors have to say about all this.
Well, Annie and Brian, this all stems from that Texas judge's ruling that the Federal Drug Administration didn't have the authority to authorize mifepristone for public use. But there's a twist here. The Texas ruling came at virtually the same time a judge in Washington state ruled in a different lawsuit. In that ruling, the judge ordered the FDA not to do anything that might affect the availability of mifepristone. Now many states are stocking up, unsure of the drug's availability in the future. Massachusetts has purchased enough doses of the drug to last for more than a year. California has secured an emergency stockpile of up to 2 million pills of mifepristone, another drug used in abortion medication. And in Washington state, 30,000 doses of the generic version of mifepristone have been purchased, which is enough to last the state's residents 3 years. And just today, New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced a 5-year supply is coming to her state.
Now, the mega anti-abortion extremists, legislators and judges alike are hell-bent on continuing down this path. They're coming after all forms of reproductive health care. This isn't just an attack on abortion. It's an attack on democracy. Courts have never before revoked a science-backed decision made by the FDA. And if this decision stands, it could have unprecedented consequences that reach far beyond abortion, threatening the FDA's critical role in our country's public health system.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper's office told Queen City News in a statement today his office is in the process of reviewing the ruling and has yet to take any action just yet. Even if the ruling stands, doctors say they are devising backup plans to make sure women have access to the medication.
As a provider, it means that I'm going to be providing something, if that happens, that is a less effective form of medication abortion. And so as a provider, we'll see more people that have failed medication abortions. We will see more people that didn't have access to the standard of care that are coming in, for further help to try and remove a medication that we've been using for abortions, miscarriage management, and other things in obstetrics and gynecology for more than 20 years is completely absurd. And it is a very clear example of government overreach.
So in terms of what happens next here, the administration's request in the Texas case will be handled by 3 judges on the appeals court. That court is dominated by conservative judges, but whatever happens at the appeals court, the losing side will almost certainly take its case to the Supreme Court. And from there, it's up to the justices. Brian.
All right, yeah, still a lot developing there. Morgan, and North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein is challenging the decision made in Texas. Stein, alongside 24 other state attorneys general, are taking the stand with Stein in specific, saying in a new statement, in part, quote, medication abortion is safe and effective, and it has been for decades. Most of the AGs listed in the challenge are Democrats.